Okay, so good morning guys, welcome to NEET World Institute and NEET World YouTube channel. So in this class we are going to concentrate on the fundamental forces, like what are the forces we are going to come across in class 11th and class 12th, and especially we will talk about the force in laws of motion, like different kind of forces like a normal force, tension force, the weight, and then spring force and gravitational force, that is in with respect to the weight, okay, and then frictional force. Okay, so different forces we are going to come across, and we will see how to take the direction of the force for the different forces. Okay, how to draw the diagram like a free body diagram, and we'll start from the basic terms, what is force, okay, and then we'll go across the terms of forces. So the first thing we'll talk about force. So today's class is about fundamentals of forces. Fundamentals of forces. So first thing we'll talk about what is force. అంటే ఫోర్స్ అంటే మనం ఏం చదివినాం ఇన్ క్లాస్ 9th or 10th. సో ఫోర్స్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇట్స్ ఎయిదర్ పుష్ ఆర్ అ పుల్. దట్స్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఫోర్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ స్టడీడ్, రైట్? సో ఫోర్స్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఎయిదర్ పుష్ ఆర్ పుల్. అంటే పుష్ అంటే ఏంటి, పుల్ అంటే ఏంటి? సో డైరెక్షన్ ఏంటి సార్? పుష్ డైరెక్షన్ ఏంటి, పుల్ డైరెక్షన్ ఏంటి? పుష్ ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ లైక్ ఇట్ ఈస్ away from me. Okay, I am pushing the object, like I am giving the force in the opposite direction of me. Okay, and pulling the object in the sense I am dragging the force towards me. Okay, like I am getting the force towards me, I am pushing the force away from me. Okay, so push is nothing but like going away, and pull is nothing but coming towards you. So I am just giving the basic explanation like the direction. Okay, so if I talk about this is my object, okay, and I am standing here, okay, and let me take this is the surface. If I want to take the object in the right direction, okay, I mean in the right direction in the sense I am talking about like this. Okay, so in the right direction what should I do? I need to give the force in this direction, which means this is for push. Okay, similarly if I talk about there is an object and person is there, and if I want to get the force in the left direction, which means I need to pull towards me. So what is this one? It is pull. So this one is, first one is push and second one is pull. So this is the basic terms of the force, like either it's called as push or it's a pull. What is the unit? The SI unit is Newton. Okay, and what about the formula we have studied? Force is nothing but mass into acceleration, right? So what is the mass SI unit? kg. Acceleration meter per second square. So kg meter per second square also we can say, or else I can say it's a Newton also, right? This is about the basic terms of the force. Now we will go across the terms like different kinds of forces. Okay, I hope you got clear about the force and what is push and what is pull, and which direction the push will be and which direction the pull will be. Pull means it's towards you, always towards you. If it's away from you means push. If it is away from you it is push. If it is towards you it is pull. The next one we'll talk about different kinds or types of force, different types of force. Okay, so అంటే లైక్ ఏ ఫోర్స్ అనేది మనం చదువుతామని చూద్దాం ఇక్కడ. లైక్ విల్ టాక్ అబౌట్ ద నార్మల్ ఫోర్స్, ఎస్పెషలీ ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ a normal force. Second one, if you see, weight. Sir, what is the difference between the weight and what is the difference between the mass? See, one is a scalar quantity and one is a vector quantity. When we are talking about a gravity, what is the direction of the gravity? It's always towards the center of the earth, right? No, center of the earth. When you are talking about mass, mass is nothing but only number 10, 20, 30 like that. But weight, when you are talking about the weight of the object, mass of the object, both are different. Weight of the object is different, mass of the object is different. Weight will talk with respect to gravity. Okay, and I'll tell you the difference. Mass, weight. So mass is a scalar quantity and weight is a vector quantity. Only number and direction also there. Okay, direction also there. Next one, third one, we'll talk about tension. టెన్షన్ అంటే స్ట్రెస్ కాదు, ఓకేనా? టెన్షన్ అంటే స్ట్రెస్ ఇక్కడ కాదు. లైక్ టెన్షన్ అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ ది ఫోర్స్ ఇన్ ది రోప్, స్ట్రింగ్, ఎక్సెట్రా. ఓకే, ఫోర్త్ వన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ స్ప్రింగ్ ఫోర్స్ and fifth one we'll talk about frictional force, and we'll talk about nuclear force. Sixth one, nuclear force. Seventh one, gravitational force. So I hope I have written everything, I guess. Okay, so these are the forces we will talk in class 11th and class 12th. And a forces in class 11th, one more, electrostatic force. Like electrostatic force is there, electrostatic force. Then yes, so if anything is left out, I will intimate you. Okay, normal force, weight, tension, spring force, frictional force, nuclear force, gravitational force, electrostatic force. So we'll talk about mainly about these forces. Okay, and I'm not going into deep topic of these things. I'll give a glance like how it's working and what is the meaning of that and how to take the direction of each and everything. Okay, done. Yeah, you can take a note of this and we'll go for the topic one by one. Done? Okay. First one we will talk about a normal force. So normal force is nothing but like whenever the force is acting perpendicular to the surface, force is acting perpendicular to the surface. Okay, force is acting perpendicular to the surface. అంటే ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ తీసుకుంటాం. దిస్ ఇస్ మై ఆబ్జెక్ట్ lying on the surface. So how the force will be perpendicular, I have told. So perpendicular, this is my force. Okay, exactly, this is my normal force. Okay sir, ఇలా తీసుకున్నారు లైక్ ఫ్లాట్ సర్ఫేస్ అని. సపోజ్ సర్ఫేస్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్గా ఉంటే డిక్లైన్డ్గా ఉంటే ఎలా సార్? సింపుల్, like again if I draw the object like this, perpendicular I have told, so this will be my perpendicular, this is my normal. Okay, ఇది incline చెప్పినారు సార్, మరి డిక్లైన్ కి ఏది సార్? డిక్లైన్ కూడా సేమ్. Okay, decline also similarly. If I draw this one, this is my normal force, this is my normal force. Okay sir, ఇంకా వేరే ఏదైనా సపోజ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది లైక్ in between the V shape surface. Okay, V shape surface. Suppose if I talk, there is a object and ఇలా V shape లో ఉన్నాయి సార్, ఈ మధ్యలో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంది సార్, ఇది సర్ఫేస్. సార్ whenever you are talking about object, how many contact surface you should see? One contact surface, one. But if you see here, there is one contact surface here, there is one contact surface here, which means two normal force will be there. One will be perpendicular to like this, this is my N1, and one will be perpendicular to like this, this is my N2. Okay, suppose if the surface is like this, the wall, and the object is like this hanging, where will be the normal force? Exactly, the normal force will be looking like this. Okay, this is my normal force. Sir, suppose ఇప్పుడు ఫ్యాన్ ఉంది, పైన ట్యూబ్ లైట్స్ ఉంది, లైట్స్ ఉంది, సమ్ హ్యాంగింగ్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఉంది, మరి దానికి నార్మల్ ఫోర్స్ ఎలా కనుక్కుంటాం సార్? సేమ్, ఇది సర్ఫేస్ కదా, ఇది ఆబ్జెక్ట్, then normal force will be like this, normal force will be like this. Okay, I hope you got clear about the normal force, how to take the diagrams, right? Yeah, you can go through this and we'll go for the next one, weight. Okay, done. Next one, if you see weight, tension and spring force, we'll continue with that. The next one is the weight. Second one is, sir, నార్మల్ ఫోర్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడారు, మరి నార్మల్ ఫోర్స్కి యూనిట్ ఏంటి సార్? ఏ ఫోర్స్ అయినా కానీ ఫోర్స్ అనేటప్పుడు యూనిట్ అనేది న్యూటన్. యూనిట్ డజంట్ చేంజ్ వెన్ ది టర్మ్స్ చేంజెస్. ఓకే, టెన్షన్ అనేది ఒక ఫోర్స్, నార్మల్ అనేది ఇంకొక ఫోర్స్, వెయిట్ అనేది ఇంకొక ఫోర్స్, బట్ ఫోర్స్ గురించే కదా మాట్లాడుతున్నాం అక్కడ, రైట్? సో యూనిట్ ఆల్వేస్ బీ సేమ్. ఓకే, now the weight, first I will tell you the formula for the weight. It is due to gravity. Gravity is a kind of acceleration, so force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So here mass into gravity. This is the basic formula, and it is always act towards down, that is center, towards the center. అంటే ఏంటి సార్ అర్థం, డయాగ్రామ్ డ్రా చేద్దాం ఒకసారి చూడండి. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ టాక్ అబౌట్ ద ఫస్ట్ వన్, దిస్ మై డయాగ్రామ్, నో దిస్ మై సర్ఫేస్, రైట్. అంటే వెయిట్ ఆల్వేస్ యాక్ట్ టువర్డ్స్ డౌన్ అండ్ టువర్డ్స్ ది సెంటర్. సో దిస్ మై వెయిట్ mg, అంటే ఇది ఓకే సార్. మరి ఇంక్లైన్ డిక్లైన్ సర్ఫేస్కి ఎలా సార్? సో దిస్ ఇస్ మై ఇంక్లైన్ సర్ఫేస్ and this is my object. What did I told? It's always act towards down, always act towards down, ante. This is my mg, okay. Then what about the declined surface, sir? Similar, same, this is my mg. Why I am taking mg? In the sense, mass of the object, mass of the object, mass of the object. If suppose if they have given 5m mass, so 5 mg, right? Sir, ఇది ఓకే. ఇంకా wall is there like this and the object is kept like this. What is the weight? Acting towards down, I have told. There is no change. There is no change for the weight. Always act towards down. Whether it can be any kind of surface, always towards down. అంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది ఇలా వేస్తే కూడా కిందనే కదా వస్తుంది, లైక్ డ్యూ టు ద గ్రావిటీ. ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ వెయిట్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు గ్రావిటీ, ఓకే. నౌ ఇఫ్ ఐ టాక్ అబౌట్ ది ceiling, okay. Now the object is there, for example any object, fan, tube light, whatever it is, if you want you can consider. Let me take the mass is m. What is the weight? Always acting towards down, so this is my mg. Done. This is for weight. Done. We'll go for the next one. So next one was spring force and then tension, right? Spring force. Third one is spring force. So spring force ante spring lo act aye force spring force ani cheptam ante, okay na. And so this is my spring. If I consider, okay, if I try to give the force in this direction, ఏమవుతుంది స్ప్రింగ్ ఎక్స్పాండ్ అవుతుంది కదా. సేమ్ సో దిస్ వాస్ మై ఒరిజినల్ డైరెక్షన్ సార్, ఒరిజినల్ లెంత్ x. అంటే ఇది x అంటే ఇది ఎంత, delta x, okay, delta x. Now if I give more force, more expansion takes place, less force, less expansion takes place, right? Now similarly, if this is my spring, if I give the force towards the spring, what happens? It will get compressed, it will get compressed. Expansion takes place here and compression takes place here, okay. So what is the thing happening here? The change in length. Why the change in length happening? Due to the force I am applying either in the opposite direction of the spring, in towards the direction of the spring. How much ever the force is happening or force is taking place, that much compression or expansion takes place, which means force is directly proportional to delta x. So force equals to remove the proportionality we are adding a constant k. So what is k? spring constant. Spring constant. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, and the direction you have saw here. Either if you try to pull or push, compression and expansion takes place. Okay, now we will talk about the tension. When we are going into deep problematic point of view, we will see how to apply in the problems. Okay, that one you will see in laws of motion once you are coming to the classes. Okay, now fourth one is tension. So tension ekkada act avutadi sir. So tension always act in rope, spring, string, etc. Sorry, it's not spring. Spring is separate. Spring force is there. String, okay. Rope acts in rope, string, etc. Okay, how the tension force acts? Tension force acts always away from me. Acts always away from me. From me in the sense, like if you are drawing the diagram, you are drawing away from you, that's it. Okay, for example, oka object undi la, like there is a ceiling, we have a rope, and in that rope we have kept an object m. So ikkada this is u, and what did I told? Tension is always away from you, no? Away from you. It's going away from you. You are pushing. Yeah, it's going away from you. Okay. Suppose if there is a person, okay, is trying to pull the rope. He is trying to pull the rope, but in which direction the tension acts? Tension acts in the away direction. Tension act in the away direction. And sir, it is okay. Have you seen the tug of war? Two sides the people will be there. In between them the rope will be there. The one side will try to pull the rope towards them, and the other side they will try to pull the rope towards them. అంటే అక్కడ ఎలా టెన్షన్ యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది? అది రోపే కదా, టెన్షన్ ఎలా యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది? సో విల్ సీ దట్ వన్ హియర్. So some people are there. I have drawn the first people. So he is trying to pull towards him. He is trying to pull towards him. So for the first person, tension will be in this direction. For the second person, tension will be in this direction. But you need to know the point. Same rope or string, same tension. Different rope or string, different tension. ఓకే, అంటే ఇక్కడ టీ యాక్ట్ అవుతాయంటే ఇక్కడ కూడా టీఏ, సేమ్ రోప్ కదా, సేమ్ రోప్ కాబట్టి ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ యాక్టింగ్ టీ, దిస్ సైడ్ ఆల్సో టీ ఓన్లీ. ఓకే, సో వీ హ్యావ్ టాక్డ్ అబౌట్ ది టెన్షన్. నౌ విల్ గో ఫర్ ది ఫ్రిక్షనల్ ఫోర్స్. Frictional force. So frictional force ekkada act avutadi? Always act in a rough surface. Acts in rough surface. So rough surface in the sense, frictional force is an opposing force. Acts in rough surface. Second point is, it is an opposing force. It is an opposing force, right? Now, if you are talking about a smooth surface, if you are trying to push the object with force F, so there won't be any kind of opposing force, but there is a rough surface. If you are applying a force, and this is denoted by the small letter F, okay, we will talk about the formulas in later classes. We will talk about only how it is acting. So, if you are applying a force F, the frictional force will be acting in the opposite direction. This is my frictional force. This is my frictional force. అంటే ఇది ఓకే సార్, ఇప్పుడు ఇంక్లైన్ పాయింట్ లేదు వర్టికల్ వాల్ ఎలా యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది. సపోజ్ దిస్ ఇస్ మై వర్టికల్ వాల్, ఓకే, and you are trying to give the force in this direction, okay, in this direction. Obviously some force will be acting towards them. What is that force? Wait, we are not talking about that. But frictional force also, it's opposing direction. No, ఇది కింద వెళ్తున్నదంటే object, if I keep the object, it will try to go down, which means frictional force will be in the upward direction. Frictional force in upward direction F. Okay, now if I talk about inclined plane, okay, inclined plane lo object, it is coming down. Yes, no, obviously object is coming down, and consider that it's a rough surface. So if object is coming down, I am going like this, which means the friction is opposing me. So frictional force will be in this direction. Frictional force will be in the opposite direction, and this is my force. It's going down. Okay, this is about the frictional force. Done? Then we'll talk about a nuclear force and electrostatic force and gravitational force. First, let me complete the gravitational force. So the basic formula I will tell you here. F is equals to G m1 m2 by r square. This gravitational force, and let me connect with electrostatic force also. So both are having a similar formula. Electrostatic force in the sense F is equals to k q1 q2 by r square. అంటే ఇక్కడ m1 m2 are masses, m2 are masses, here q1 q2 are charges, okay, q1 q2 are charges. Here the thing is, it is always positive. Here the thing is, it can be positive, it can be negative based on the charges, okay. Here it is always positive. Gravitational force is always positive, whereas electrostatic force, it can be positive, it can be negative based on the charge we are considering. Charge is nothing but positive charge is there, negative charge is there. Positive charge ante proton, negative charge ante electron, okay. Now if I talk, there is a mass m1 and mass m2, so obviously it will be acting, there will be a force acting between them. That force is called as gravitational force. Similarly, q1 q2, let me take this is positive and this is negative. అంటే మ్యాగ్నెట్స్ ఉంది కదా, నార్త్ పోల్ సౌత్ పోల్, అంటే దగ్గరికి తెచ్చేటప్పుడు ఒక ఫోర్స్ యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది, ట్రైంగ్ టు పుల్ టువర్డ్స్ ఈచ్ అదర్. బట్ వెన్ ఐ టాక్ అబౌట్ a north pole and south pole, I mean north pole and north pole, or south pole and south pole, when I try to bring together, it will try to go away from each other, which means there is some force. That force is called as electrostatic force. And here if you talk similarly, like earth is there, earth is a mass, and other mass, like for example let us take a stone which I have thrown up, So stone and the earth, so both are having a mass. There what happens, it will try to pull towards each other. Okay, so that force is called as gravitational force. Done. And the final thing is nuclear force. So nuclear force ఎక్కడ చదువుతాం, క్లాస్ 12లో చదువుతాం nuclear force. Nuclear force, it is the one of the strongest force, it is the strongest force in nature. అంటే if you talk about atoms in the nucleus, no, like positive charges will be there. So positive charges అనేది ఆ న్యూక్లియస్లో ఉంది, నాకు న్యూక్లియాన్స్లో ఉంది. న్యూక్లియాన్స్లో పాజిటివ్ చార్జెస్ ఉండేటప్పుడు పాజిటివ్ రిప్పల్ అవ్వాలి కదా సార్, మరి ఎందుకు పాజిటివ్ చార్జ్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది అంటే some force is acting to keep the positive charge together. That force is called as a nuclear force. We'll talk about the nuclear force in detail in class 12th. When atoms is there, nucleus is there, we'll talk about there. Okay, and this is the basic information. To hold the positive, that is protons, together in the nucleons, that force is called as a nucleus force or nuclear force. Okay, so this is about a basic concept of forces. And in next class we are talking about graphs, like different kind of graphs, how to interpret the graph, and how to talk about the slopes and areas, everything. Okay, so this is about the force, guys. And you can once if you are having a doubt, you can watch again, and if you are having any kind of doubts, so you can give in the comment section, we'll try to reply you. Okay, and with that I'll take a break from you. Bye bye.